This video is going to explain the 5D model that I use in coaching executive leaders and their teams. It's a framework on which we build for clarity, effectiveness, ease, and success. And this is part of the Peak Clarity series where we talk about removing the fog away from the mountain that we're going after, and so we can see the steps to get there. And the 5D model is kind of based on these each one of these 5 circles has a part in the model. Before we jump into that, let me just kind of jump a little bit into the point of why the model in the first place. So the question that I want to pose to start off with is, what exactly is a business? What's the essence of a business? And I would propose the business is very simply this. Someone or someone's, a person or group of people, come up with an idea. And they say to themselves, hey, this is a really cool idea. I like this, and I think that others may like it too. And so as we build the business, we put systems and structures, we hire people, we do training, etc. And what we're doing is we're trying to take this idea, this value idea, and we are working to get everybody lined up to make it so that the value comes through to the customer. And the question is, how's this part going? How's the delivery? How's the execution? And a lot of times there's sort of like, if you could imagine this was like a hose that was delivering value from the idea to the customer through all the different parts of your organization. Is there anything or things that are sort of like stepping on the hose and limiting the flow? And so the 5D model gives you a way of looking at this piece and determining what needs to improve in order for the value idea to be very effective and for the team members to enjoy and have satisfaction in the work that they're doing in delivering that value. So thus that brings us to the 5D model. So I'm going to kind of walk us through that here. Bring this in where we can see it. So 5D kind of goes like this. First thing we've got is the doers. So in an early organization, a smaller organization, we mostly do things. If we've got a bakery and we're baking pies, if we're making software, if we're creating an app, and in every business, really this is where the customer interaction happens. This is where the value meets the customer. And so even as businesses grow, we continue doing is really important. And the people who do the work need to be really experts at it and really great at delivering that value. As an organization grows a little bit and we start getting a few more people, let's say it starts off with just you and you're just got your own little shop, but it starts getting bigger. The next step in the process is we will begin to delegate. And delegation is very, in its essence, is making your expectations clear, giving someone a task like making a pie, making the schedule, working on a part of an app, and then coming back and checking what you expect. So not a whole lot of creativity here. This is just a delivery of kind of existing processes and procedures and saying, hey, I just want you to follow this. We get to a certain point where the original entrepreneur or executive certainly can't do everything and even can't delegate everything, and we start to splinter into or silo or whatever into departments, and so the leaders of these departments then need to be developed. Whoops. Fix that. I was going to developed, but the name here is develop. So we delegate, we develop. So then the leader is spending a lot of time and attention and energy towards developing leaders of subunits of the organization. And then these leaders then begin to think about, and they need, as things grow even more, and this original entrepreneur executive can't touch everyone. They need these people to develop people beneath them. And as that begins to happen, then the next step in the process, or the next role, is define.
Now I need to say all these things are actually happening concurrently. So you may be defining early on, but the main role of the leader then becomes to define. And this has to do with culture, internal culture, internal branding, a pipeline for leadership development, values, mission, clarity, etc. The leader then needs to be spending the vast majority of their time, and a lot of their time, on self-development, because so much of the organization is about the leader or leaders, who they are. And then finally, when everyone is in their lane, then we make a difference in our world, in our community. F-E-R. This is getting hard down here. Handwriting was not my thing in school. And that's out of the camera. Let's see if we can bring that up a little bit. So we make a difference in our world, in our community, in our trade. And so in most organizations, there's a lot of kind of shifting of one level. People are just one track off of their lane. So a lot of times you have doers that are either not well trained or they're not showing up, whatever reason, they're not developing, not delivering that value. So the delegators, the shift leaders, are having to fill in. They're not able to effectively get the tasks done that they need to, like preparing for the shift, making a schedule, etc. Therefore, the developers are not able to spend their time developing and growing these guys into leaders. And the definer is not able to spend time developing themselves and developing the culture. And then, we're sort of got a pinch in the hose in terms of making a difference, delivering that tremendous value. So what the 5D model does is it helps us to recognize, let me back up just a little bit. This is usually up to about, these two are usually up to about $1 million, $2 million. We start needing to develop people somewhere around 3 to 5 million. Past 5 million, we need to be really in the definer mode as executive leaders. And those numbers are not necessarily hard and fast, but there are points that we sort of jump, and we need to start adding these roles. And the work with 5D is we use a profile to help takes about 15, 20 minutes for the executive leader or leaders to figure out where they are. And then we start, usually everybody's shifted one, and then we start working on how to get them in their proper lane or their most effective lane. And then the results just kind of start clicking. So anyway, so this is how this model works. Again, back to our original thing here. This is all about working on this piece where we're delivering value to the customer. And then all of this wraps up under peak clarity, which is clearing away the fog so you can see where you're going. So I hope this has added some clarity, especially for my existing clients. Feel free to share this with your team and help them understand this model better. And if I can assist you in any way in developing this or take you through the 5D model, please contact me. Thanks. Climb on.